This is Miss Hamilton, and we're going to talk about fraction operations today. We're going to look at how to add and subtract, how to multiply, and how to divide on common fractions. So our first algorithm is our algorithm for adding and subtracting fractions. We use the same basic steps if we're adding or subtracting. The first step is we need to find a common denominator. We find our common denominator by finding the least common multiple of those denominators. Then we turn those fractions into equivalent fractions that have that common denominator. We add or subtract depending on the operation, the numerators, and then the denominators stay the same. So for example, 2/3 plus 3/7. I might be able to figure out the common denominator of 3 and 7 in my head, but if not, I'm going to list out my multiples. So I list out my 3's, and I start listing out some 7's, and I find that 21 is a multiple, or is the least common multiple of both of them. This is what I want to use as my denominator. So here's my problem again, 2/3 plus 3/7. I'm going to multiply the first one by 7's, so I get an equivalent fraction with a 21 as a denominator. My 3/7 I multiply by 3's, and then, because 7 times 3 gives me 21. Remember, whatever I multiply the top by, or the bottom by, I have to multiply the top by. I end up with 14 over 21 plus 9 over 21. Add them together, I get 23 over 21. Now this is an improper fraction because 23 is greater than 21. So I need to turn it into a mixed number. How many 21's can I get out of 23? And the answer is 1 with 2 left over. So 1 and 2 21sts is the answer to my problem. Now for multiplying might be a little bit easier. If you have any mixed numbers, you need to make them improper. And then you just multiply straight across. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. My answer needs to be reduced if it is necessary, if it can be reduced. So an example would be like, let's say you have 3/4 of a can of paint, or you use 3/4 of a can of paint, and that can of paint is 5.5 gallons. So here is my problems. I'm finding 3/4 of times that 5 and 1/4, or 1/2. I take my mixed number, make it improper. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. I have 11 over 2. Multiply straight across. 3 times 11 is 33. 4 times 2 gives me 8. 33/8. Again, it is improper. I need to reduce. How many 8's can I get out of 33? That answer is 4, and I have 1 left over. So 4 and 1/8 is my answer to the problem. That's how much paint there is. Dividing fractions, KFC. Remember that KFC, keep, flip, change. Keep the first fraction, flip the second fraction, change the divide to multiply. Again, you're going to want to reduce your answer if you need to. So here's my example. Let's say we have 9 blocks of cheese, and we're going to make pizza, and each pizza needs 2/3 of a block of cheese. How many pizzas can we make? So I'm going to take 9 and divide it by 2/3. 9 is a whole number. Remember that if we have a whole number, 1 is the denominator. So I would put 9 over 1. That's my keep. I keep the first one. I'm going to flip the second one. This 2 over 3, I'm going to flip it so it's the reciprocal. So the 3's on top, the 2's on the bottom. And then I change my divide to multiply. So I keep, I flip, and I change. Multiply straight across just like I did on my multiply. And I get 27 over 2. Again, it is an improper fraction. So then I need to reduce, and I find out that 27 over 2 is equal to 13.5. So you can make 13.5 pizzas. So pretty much your algorithms, you just need to practice them. Go back and rewind if you need to see the steps again. Have a good day.